When Thomas of Ercelden came back from the Eildon Hills, he had spent there 7 years. A fairy had seduced him to follow her to the deep core of the hills. When Frank Schofield moved to Galashiels to establish his textile company, he commissioned Peter Womersley to design a bungalow for himself. The 2-story bungalow was built in 1956 and 57 in an orchard that is located on a slope in Gattonside, with an overwhelming view of the Eildon Hills. In the late 1960s, Bernard Klein commissioned Peter Womersley to design a studio for him. In 1972, it was built close to Bernard Klein's bungalow. People who drove by with their cars were impressed by the colorful paintings and fabrics they saw through the large windows. Peter Womersley was interested in the delicate construction of transparent bungalows with large windows, but he was also fascinated by the architecture of Le Corbusier and the sculptural quality of brutalism. In 1963 and 64, he built the newsstands for the Gala Faridin Football Club, a crystalline concrete construction.
This picture here was the building of the new concrete stand designed by Peter Womersley. It's at the skeleton stage here, and this would be, the stand was opened in 1964, so this would be probably 1963.
I'm very grateful to Peter Womersley because it is thanks to him that we came to live in this lovely village in 1961. When my husband saw that he had won the competition to build the offices in St. Boswell's, he thought Peter would need an assistant, and he greatly admired his work.
I went there in 1953 and it was shoveling it the fire. Mills in Hoyk, Mills in Galley, everybody was stuck shovel coal into the fire.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the Reunion House. In 1950, a developer came from Chicago who said that he had talked to Frank Lloyd Wright about building a house. Wright had told him, in the wintertime we don't build in Chicago. Why don't you go to California and see Richard Neutra? Maybe you can get a house built there, and when you're finished in the summertime, come back and let's talk about building a house in Chicago area.
Seit 1960 wohnen Ken und seine Mutter Betty Topper im Lovell Health House. Am Tag nach meinem Besuch bei Dion Neutra im Reunion House in Silver Lake machte ich mich auf den Weg zum Lovell Health House. Dort erzählte mir Ken Topper, wie er in dem Haus aufgewachsen ist und wer eigentlich Morris Saperstein war.
Well, how my dad came to know the house, he grew up playing with the Lovell boys here at the Lovell Health House. And so that's how he came to know the house, and I guess to appreciate the house. And so in 1960, my parents bought the house. I was 1 year old, so really any memories that I have are all here of childhood. But what's it like to live here is you appreciate it more the longer that you live here, the older that you get, the more that you see people that travel from all over the world to come to see it. And for me, I come here every day. That this could be designed in 1929 and still look modern today is always, what piques my interest.
Again and again I went back to this place, and when I was not in one of the three houses physically, at least I dreamed of being there. I went back and forth, upstairs and downstairs, and back and forth. Outside it was day, then it was night, and then it was day again. The seasons changed, but I didn't realize all this. Between me and the outside world lay roller shutters and curtains, which were to remain closed forever. I walked through the labyrinth of rooms and corridors and lost myself in a kaleidoscope of mirrors, whose facets multiplied the space into infinity. The question that drove me around particularly was, who had designed all this? Everyone I asked gave me the same answer. Bert. Every detail you can see is Bert. I realized that I had to meet Bert Wollersheim.
2008, wo ich den Laden hier übernommen habe, war das Rathauscenter noch so voll besucht, dass man teilweise keinen Platz mehr drin gehabt haben. Ob es jetzt Richtung Rathaus war, beim Bürgeramt, die Leute Hochzeit gefeiert haben, es war immer hier was los. Ich bin der Herr Tolu, komme aus Heilbronn, betreibe hier in Ludwigshafen Schuhrapid und mittlerweile bin ich der einzigste Mieter im ganzen Objekt im Rathauscenter und die Stadt Ludwigshafen will, dass ich von alleine hier rausgehe mit Zermürbungstaktiken, mit Drohungen, mit Einkesselungen, dass ich nicht mehr standhaft die Miete zahlen kann und von alleine aufgebe und rausgehe. Und wenn das Rathauscenter auch noch abgerissen wird, dann hat man hier nichts mehr.